We've talked on the YouTube channel a number of times about Rage and the future of this franchise and where it's at right now. This is a franchise that I really like, guys. I love the concepts that have been shown in the Rage franchise. Up to this point, there's been a number of things that I feel haven't landed super effectively for me and things that I think need to be added to this game, that being like multiplayer modes, co-op modes, and things of that nature. A story mode that's very good and it's immersive and it's actually got a level of complexity and difficulty to it as well, which I absolutely love. But at this point in time, guys, I think that there are things that need to be changed in order for the Rage franchise to continue and to get to a bigger point. And so in this second segment of the show, I want to talk about Rage 3 and the future of this franchise moving forward. So let's talk about it. In an article, guys, that was written by Jasmine Henry of Game Rant, Rage 3 is being planned by Rage 2 studio director. Rage 2 has only been available for a short while, but ID Software studio director Tim Willits reveals that he is now planning the sequel. Willits also says that he and the Rage 2 development team want to get to work on the sequel as soon as possible. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter about the release of Rage 2, Willits said, "I hope so," when asked if more games in the Rage series could be released, calling the Rage franchise a fun setting where the development team can do what we want. Willits also revealed that the developers once had a serious conversation about allowing players to ride on giant cockroaches. "It's a crazy, fun, exciting franchise, and I hope we can make a third one as soon as possible," said the developer. Now, what's interesting, guys, is at the time of this writing of this, of course, this article was back in 2019. The game had, shortly come out, and Rage 2, obviously, there was a lot of people talking about, oh man, this is like, it's a much bigger world, and it's very immersive, which it was, but it was primed for a multiplayer experience. It was primed for co-op experiences, but they didn't give that to us, and so those are things that I think have really held back this franchise. Look at a similar, not similar, but a game in the same realm as this would be with Bethesda as far as Doom Eternal is concerned. Look at some similar mechanics to that of Rage, and what have they done with Doom, and why is it so popular? Where not only does it have a great immersive story, but also has a great, multiplayer experiences, and, those are things that really help bring people back to the game, and that's what I think they need to do here with Rage, bringing people back to this franchise. When Rage 2, whether Rage 2 will get a sequel will be down to the game's success. Many Rage 2 reviews seem to be mixed on the game, saying that while it is action-packed and is fun to play, it also lacks in some areas. A weak story and a boring open world to explore are two areas that critics have called out. The game has also been discounted on all platforms. While this doesn't mean that a game is selling poorly, it would be strange to discount a game that is selling incredibly well. Publisher Bethesda will be looking at the game's sales figures before it greenlights Rage 3. And I'll tell you what, guys. If Rage 3 is never made, it's simply because, in my opinion, not only did Rage 2 not hit on like having a really great open world experience, but just not having more ways than one to connect with the franchise, that being multiplayer and co-op modes, in my opinion. I'd love to hear yours in the comment section below. If Bethesda was to give ID Software and Avalanche Studios the go-ahead to make a Rage 2 sequel, then it's unclear when the team would be able to begin developing it. Willits and the rest of the developers may want to get started in the game as soon as possible, but their resources may not allow them to start development on a new game. What's interesting to me is that they want to get started on a Rage 3 so soon. When Rage 2 had just shortly had come out, hasn't been out that long, and the fact of the matter is that you want to already bring out Rage 3 when there's still things with Rage 2 that need to be done, like having expansions and things of that nature. Adding multiplayer would be great, just to at least try it out with Rage 2, just to see what else they could really do. And I don't think that Rage 2 sold incredibly well, just because in a the first-person shooter genre is very, there's just so much oversaturation. So people are going to be watching their spending dollars as far as where they want to put their money when it comes to these games, and I believe a full package for Rage 2 would have sold a lot better, in my opinion. ID Software is also working on Doom Eternal, which of course already came out, and Avalanche Studios' next game hasn't been announced, but it isn't known if the developer would start work on Rage 3 without ID Software. The post-launch plans for Rage 2 will also take up many resources. Rage 2 will have world events as well as new content such as weapon skins, more cheat codes, and wasteland challenges, and these will all be released to players for free. There are also plans for premium paid story expansions. All of these mean that fans will likely be waiting for years for Rage 3 to be released. And I agree. They're bringing things out pretty slowly, and a lot of the expansion they brought out are still they still suffer from some of the same problems as Rage 2 is as a game, just, kind of dull open worlds and things of that nature. But look, at the end of the day, Rage 2 has some really great concepts, in my opinion. It's got some really great, underneath all of the bad stuff about it, there's a really good underlying game here that I think deserves to be continued in the future. That being, though, a story mode, but make it more immersive. And if it means like semi-open world, doesn't mean totally open world, because you don't want it to be dull. You want it to be, very well, you want it to be just well-crafted, really fun story that you don't get kind of like sucked out of. So make it, even if it's only a semi-open world, that's fine as long as it's a great story. Then add multiplayer modes and co-op modes that are going to keep you coming back to the game. Because if you're a massive Rage fan, you want to have ways and reasons to come back to the franchise after playing the campaign a couple of times through. You may move on to other games if you don't have other ways to connect with the game. So we talk about it all the time on the YouTube channel, guys. At the end of the day, this is a franchise that's primed for multiplayer experiences and co-op experiences. So make that happen, Bethesda and ID Software. Make these things happen, and I think that Rage 3 will see the light of day, and hopefully at this point, hopefully it's not too late, but hopefully they do see the light of day, and it's given one last chance and has a full package deal that can really get us, coming back to the franchise. But let me know what you guys think. In the comment section below, what do you guys want to see in Rage 3? Do you think this is a game that is going to be coming out at some point or another? Let me know what you guys think. And for more Rage 3 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.